Tonight, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf's Denver Nuggets are in town, and he is their offensive leader. A 51-point game versus Utah is testament to that. After starting 1-8, they're back near 500. On November 17th, and a mile high, there was a lot of arguing, either with each other or united in their detest of the replacement officials. That was the mood. As for the result, it was all Knicks, as they led from the beginning and cruised to an easy victory. Tonight,
MSG, the network of the New York Knicks, welcomes you live to the world's most famous arena. And tonight at the Garden in Midtown, it's the New York Knicks versus the Denver Nuggets. Ewing versus Mutombo. In the Midwest Division, the Nuggets started 1-8, but have roared back near 500 at 9-10, 6.5 out. As for the New York Knicks, they've been winning. And the Magic lost last night to Chicago. A win tonight, and first place is theirs in the Atlantic.
Back at Madison Square Garden, we're set for the introduction of the starting lineup.
6-1 from LSU. Number 1, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
For the Nuggets, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, bothered by the flu the last couple of days, was a question mark, but he is in the starting lineup. Nuggets the other night, John, 7 of 26 from beyond the three-point line. That's 26%. Randy Woods was 0 for 7. There is Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, and he's tied the game at 9, so he hits the 3. Ewing and Mutombo with the rebound. So a good shooting start for both teams. Abdul-Rauf providing a 2-point Denver lead. Nuggets have hit their first 5 of 6, and the Knicks 4 of 6. Harper did an excellent job in the game in mid-November against Denver. Mutombo showing the outside touch. Derek Harper, particularly in the second half, was able to close down Abdul-Rauf.
Abdul-Rauf doing a good job on Derek Harper, denying the pass inside. Now Harper has to come outside.
But Abdul-Rauf in that earlier meeting, only 2 of 12 from the field.
That was Abdul-Rauf's season low compliments of Derek Harper.
Mason to the fade. Anthony Mason with that step-back jump shot. And the Knicks have hit 11 of 15 from the field. Ewing with the rejection. 10 on the shot clock. Abdul-Rauf. And that was last touched by a Knick. It'll be looked like Harper jammed his finger as he got a piece of it.
On that play, Mutombo was just circling under the basket, and Patrick put his hands on it.
No hesitation. Abdul-Rauf, seeing a bit of daylight, just made the turn and released it. And the Knick lead is now 2. Rauf with 7 points. Ewing. Loose ball foul. Called on the Nuggets. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who was a question mark because of the flu. He's been hard hit the last couple of days, but able to play tonight, and certainly did play about a week ago when he scored 51 points against the Utah Jazz. A career high for Mahmoud. 17 of 27 from the field for his 51 points.
There are the numbers, and the 9 3-point shots, too, were tied a franchise high.
Denver by 2. Denver by 4 as Brian Stith able to take advantage of what has been a leaky defensive effort by the Knicks here in the first quarter. Abdul-Rauf checking the clock. McClain. Final seconds of the quarter. Nuggets with a 4-point lead. Harper met by Mutombo on a switch. Harper able to slice his way through. Final seconds. Abdul-Rauf gets it off in time. Beautiful sidestep move by Abdul-Rauf. After 1, it's the Nuggets by 4.
Well, he's more concerned with just the rolling movement.
Abdul-Rauf He has 9. The Knicks lead by 5.
What an amazing college career Abdul-Rauf had. 2 years at LSU, and he ends up as the 6th all-time leading scorer at the school.
Then known, of course, as Chris Jackson. The Knicks lead is now 7. So Anthony Mason on his way to celebrating his 29th birthday in grand style. 18 points in this first half. Abdul-Rauf for 3.
Man, how do you guard that? Talk about a quick release. Looked like he was lining up for a drive.
Can't ask for more. Patrick Ewing has 14, 4 rebounds, 7 of 13 from the floor. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf and Brian Stith lead the Denver Nuggets 12 points apiece. Al Trautwig along with Walt Clyde Frazier. And Clyde, I don't know about you, my neck's a little stiff. It was like this, tennis match, back and forth, back and forth. No one seemed to want to play defense, but it was fun to watch.
Well, that was the first quarter. The second quarter, they were very stagnant. Both teams looking to exploit the mismatches inside.
And we'll take a look at the highlights from the first half and start things out with Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. He's got the flu, but doesn't prevent him from shooting.
Yeah, downtown on Mace this time. Mahmoud about a 40% shooter from downtown.
Ewing against Mutombo. It's all Ewing, 14 points to 6.
Well, Ewing's protege, Ewing has been taking him to school on the low post, so some nice moves inside by Patrick. This time the creative shot with the left-handed hook.
Ellis comes up short on the 3, but broke it up and carries out of bounds off Abdul-Rauf. Is there a better defensive player in the NBA than Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen? So how do you measure that against Dikembe Mutombo? Such a difficult argument. Abdul-Rauf pointing at himself, you might say.
Yes, he's taking all the blame.
Knicks by 6.
A little bit anyway.
But we may be seeing an unusual situation with Mutombo, who has been very soft in his defense tonight against Ewing. Abdul-Rauf stepped on the line. That's a 2-pointer. He's puzzled about that. Starks felt that he was fouled, took a hit in the chest as he lost Mahmoud on the screen. Knicks by
Professionals.
If we don't hear from John, if suddenly the audio sounds fuzzy, Abdul-Rauf cuts it to a 1-point Knick lead with just under 6 remaining in the third quarter. 3-point Knick lead.
Abdul-Rauf turned on the speed. Harper was right with him.
Don McClain, who had the hot hand the first half, getting set to come on. Abdul-Rauf hearing it from the crowd with the air ball. Grant has a 4-on-2. At the dribble, broken up by Abdul-Rauf. Did well to recover. Ewing. Patrick Ewing has gone cold.
Knicks have to pull together now and not try and do it by themselves as individuals.
Mason for Ewing. Beautiful pass from Mason. So the Knicks are within 2. Can of defense. Pick and roll for McClain. 17 for McClain. Nuggets by 4. Mason.
Knicks have got to get into passing, spreading the defense out.
Mutombo able to beat Ewing down the floor. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Knicks are trailing by 6 points. Harper for 3. Yes. Big bucket by Derek Harper with the Knicks trying to find their way. Harper hits the 3 to cut it to a 3-point lead. Abdul-Rauf setting up, picked up on a switch by Mason. Goes right at him for the jumper. Oh, Abdul-Rauf with the sweet touch as he was able to put the move on Anthony Mason to go baseline and then find the space. Abdul-Rauf with the fake and the bucket.
been firing them, Marv, but they haven't been going in till now.
Bad for a guy was a question mark because of the flu. Nuggets didn't think he'd play. Starks for Ewing. Ewing going to the finger roll to bring the Knicks within 3 with 2:40 to go in this fourth quarter, and a good finish here at the Garden. Nuggets with a 3-point lead. Abdul-Rauf for 3. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf has not shot well. He's 10 for 24. He has 23 points, but some enormous shots here in the fourth quarter. 22nd timeout has been called.
This is like Abdul-Rauf unchained, the way he's shooting the basketball now. That's what happens with the great shooters. They may be cold for a while, but you just can't count them out, and he has such confidence. He does share with Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz the honor of being a 51-point scorer in the NBA this year in a game.
What an amazing story this guy is, able to beat back Tourette's syndrome. Abdul-Rauf came to the NBA after his sophomore year as the #3 pick overall in the 1990 draft. In his 6th NBA season out of LSU. One of the great free throw shooters of all time in the NBA, and has the long range. The only question is, because he's been used so frequently at point guard, can he do it on a regular basis at the point?
You know, the one thing, Marv, I noticed throughout his career, he's averaged 4 assists a game in the 5 prior years. This year, he's at 8. So he's making a strong effort.
Grant with the steal. And then Harper with the steal with Grant. Grant on the rebound. Here's Ewing. Tough shot for Ewing because the pass was low, and he tried to adjust, and then the foul call. It's on Ewing with 39 seconds remaining. So the Denver Nuggets have come here to Madison Square Garden following the poor performance Tuesday night in the defeat at the hands of the Indiana Pacers. They do not play particularly well in the first half. They turn it around in the second half, and they have startled the Knicks with this performance. Dikembe Mutombo with the consecutive blocks on Anthony Mason.
A lot of focus on how well the Knicks have been playing, and they certainly have justified all the plaudits that have been coming their way, and yet upon interviews with the players, they are revealing the fact that they're better than their 16-5 record coming in tonight, and they feel that they should be able to reach higher and work harder, and they say certainly all the right things, and yet tonight they let something slip by them somehow.
The New York Knicks have lost the 3rd game of this 5-game season longest homestand, 103-94. This Denver Nuggets team showing they can play defense, and that has been what has turned their season around. The Knicks were leading comfortably in the 3rd quarter. Denver used a 10-0 run to take over in the 4th. The Knicks then had to mount a comeback, and that dunk by Patrick Ewing brought them to within 286-84. But then Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf and Don McLean began to take over, making big shot after big shot. This guy was unstoppable and in the zone. That 3 made it 97-91 with 1:40 to go. With just under a minute to go, the Knicks had a big possession, down 7. John Starks missed a 3. Anthony Mason then down low, blocked twice by Dikembe Mutombo. And yes, Dikembe, you and your Nuggets take a bow, winning at Madison Square Garden for the first time since 1990. We'll be back with much more of our post-game coverage. Denver Nuggets beating the New York Knicks 103-94. But of course, they beat the Knicks without Charles Oakley. As a result, the Nuggets owned the boards. Brian Stith joins us. Mahmoud is a bit of a quirky guy. I mean, a religion's such a big part of his life, and it affects so many of the things he does, how he eats, what he can do. How does it affect his relationship with the team at all?
No, it really doesn't. You know, I think that we all understand the situation that Mahmoud is in, and we respect that. And I think that's the biggest thing. You know, we give him his space, and, you know, I think that he really appreciates that. And in turn, I think that our relationship with him is very good.
Well, Brian, you've had some big wins on the road, ending long losing streaks. Phoenix, Utah, now New York. Congratulations, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Brian.
For the first time in nearly 6 years, the Denver Nuggets win one at the Garden. And you just heard Don Nelson say it. One of the reasons he thinks they lost is this man in street clothes. Charles Oakley with the sore Achilles. He's listed as day today. The Nuggets closed the first quarter on a 17-7 run. There's two from Dikembe Mutombo. It was 34-30 Denver after one. Anthony Mason celebrated his 29th birthday in style. First on defense, he harasses Don McClain. Eventually gets the block, and it leads to a fast break. Later on offense, Mace with 18 in the first half. It was Knicks by 3 at that point. Again, more Anthony Mason shooting well, putting on the dribbling exhibition. He was 7 of 10 in the first half. It was Knicks by 3 at the break.
With him.
Don Nelson looking on, things in control, but Ewing's 14, had 14 in the first half, and Denver hanging tough in the third. Mutombo drives the baseline, misses the layup, and gets his own rebound. 70-69 Knicks, the lead is cut to 1. Later in the third now, an interesting sequence here. McClain will take a couple of shots, and he is blocked by Ewing. It goes out to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. He misses the 3. Derek Harper will then get it up to John Starks, who lays it in. But Patrick Ewing was frustrated in the early fourth. He shot well the first 3 quarters, but he just went cold in the fourth. He's normally, of course, reliable from the outside. He misses that one there. Hubert Davis gets it out to him, and he'll miss this jumper.
He's out there because
The Knicks went 7 minutes and 20 seconds without a field goal. Jalen Rose finding the range, and Denver took an 85-78 lead. The Knicks fighting back in the end. Mason rebounds the Ewing miss. And he'll go back to Patrick for the jam. 86-82, the Denver lead is cut to 4. Late in the fourth now, the Knicks closed within 2, but Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf just took over. He fakes out Mason. He gets the jumper. He had 25 on the night, most of them coming late when it counted. Rauf drills another 3. That made it 97-91 Denver. And any chances the Knicks had were rejected, literally, by Dikembe Mutombo late. In the closing seconds, he gets a block on Mason, twice down low. The Nuggets hang on to win 103-94. They drop the Knicks due to 16-6.
We go back to show you some of the spectacular makes by Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. He got one fake in the air and then just shot over the hand of Gary Grant. He is our Hoover player of the game. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, 25 points, 3 for 8 from beyond the stripe. The Nuggets love to shoot from long distance, and it worked for him in tonight's game, especially their defense helping out, too, in the fourth quarter. Well, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, he was great tonight, especially when it counted. Here's what Mike had to say with him.
What was the difference between this and the game in Denver?
I think, again, this game, we were more aggressive. We were more intelligent in our decisions, and we came out early. In Denver, they came out early, and they were spotting up the threes, and it didn't seem as though we knew where they were. They were making easy baskets. We really made them work for their baskets to an extent. But the first half, they were on fire, especially his name is slipping right off my head. Mason. He was on fire, and but we felt that it wasn't going to last. So I think because of that we won the game.
How much fun is it for you to play like that, the way you did tonight?
Beautiful, especially to come here in New York. It's always tough to win here, especially as I reflect back in my career. And to come here and beat them the way we did tonight, we really wanted this win. And especially after playing the way we did in Indiana, we were horrible. And to come out and be patient, be aggressive, towards the end, make intelligent decisions, I think that shows a little bit of our character.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thoughtful, insightful, seems like a really neat guy.
Really good guy, had a very good game today, and they really feed off him tremendously. When he's able to knock down his shots the way he was in the big crunch time, it makes them a much better team.
You know what these are? These are whiz bucks. You know what they do? They save you money. Look for them in your newspaper. And remember, nobody beats the whiz.